Hi, I hope that you guys are ready to talk all about marketing as far as organization and time goes, because today in this month's mini masterclass, I'm sharing with you how to create a simple marketing calendar with just a Google application. So the thing that I really love about Google is that you can really do some complex things. You can get a lot of organization, you can get some accountability built in, and also help you actually put some action behind your strategy with something that is as simple to use as Google and also something that is free. So that's always nice. So there are lots of marketing systems that you can use. There's all kinds of different things that you can apply in your business to help you manage your marketing, follow up on leads. Like, it can get as complex and complicated as you want it to be. But I really love starting with the most simple tools as possible because I think that that really helps us also make sure that we're focusing on the right things in our business, that we're not getting distracted by shiny objects, that we don't think, oh, well, you know what I really need to do is spend 3 months making sure that my Asana looks awesome or my ClickUp is great, and then I can start doing some planning and actually taking some action. So I love Google. It's a really simple way. For those of you that are new to the group, we do a mini masterclass where we dive into one really specific topic for 30 minutes or less every single month because, like you, I also have lots of things to do too. And I appreciate learning things in a more compact way. And so that's what I'm trying to present and share with you. And if you don't know me, I'm Shannon DeWitt. I'm a business coach and strategist. And I love helping women build businesses that let them live the lifestyle that they want so they have as many choices as possible. So we're going to jump right into some slides, and I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, here we go. So our masterclass is how to create a marketing calendar. Pretty simple idea. And the reason why that you want to actually have a calendar is because it lets you plan so that you know exactly what you need to be doing, because it's easy to think, oh, well, I need to send an email and I need to do this. But the more that we give ourselves room to make decisions, the more likely we're actually not going to send those emails. We're not going to follow up with people. We're not going to create that content. And when we have an overview of our business and we have a bigger idea of what we're focusing on selling, so what we actually want to market, then we can create a strategy to market that thing in a way that makes sense. This will keep you from thinking, oh, yeah, I really want to sell this workbook this month, or I've got this special promo. And then you try to shove all of your marketing into a week, and guess what? You don't get as many sales as you'd hope to. So I love having a marketing calendar. It makes it so easy, it cuts out on decision making, and it really just gives you that extra boost of clarity and confidence and accountability to take action. Because remember, like I'm always saying, every marketing plan works, but not if you don't work it, right? You have to put some action behind it. So, step one is brainstorm. You want to start with a wider lensed view of your business and think about the things that are actually going to matter before you start to try to get into the nitty gritty details of the exact email you'll send and the exact kind of content and things like that. So, what I really love to do is get a sheet of notebook paper and I mark it up just like this. So I do 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, which gives you not only a 12-month overview of your business, but it also breaks things down into quarters. So what I feel like is really important to look at, and why I love this just super simple outlook on my business, is because I can start to sketch in. So some of you may have had some design school experience, others of you may not have, but also get this idea. When you sit down to do a drawing, you first think about your basic shapes, and you want to make sure that you get all of your positioning right. So making sure that it makes sense where the arms and the legs, and then you start to get more detailed until you have a final picture. That's the same way that you want to think about scheduling out your business. You want to look at the big overview so that you can start more general and then get more specific, and that's going to make you create a strategy that's actually going to work for you instead of against you. So again, I like to start off here with a simple piece of paper, and then I like to think about my time, like where are my priorities, and these will be very different for you. Like, for one thing, you may have a seasonal business, and so you know that you've got to step it up and do specific things in certain parts of the year and do other things in other parts of the year. You may have big shows, right? If you're maybe a wedding photographer, shows are used to be, maybe not now, used to be a big part. Maybe those are a big part of your business. For other people, it's lifestyle things. So you want to think about, when are my kids going to be at home? When are they not going to be home? And then for you, you may have certain times of the year or times of the month where you just don't do your best work, and that's totally okay. But again, it's important to think about these things first before you think about all the details, because we want to make sure that we're creating a schedule that works for us and not against us. We don't want to constantly be swimming against the tide. So define what your availability is and go ahead and block those things out, right? If you know that when your kids are home during the summer, there's so much going on that it's just not a good time for you to launch something new. It's not a time where you can spend more time building relationships, doing sales calls, things like that, then don't do a launch then. Don't schedule that. Make your system, make your marketing schedule work for you. So you just want to take that sheet of notebook paper and go ahead and mark those things in so that you'll know when you look at this. So with this example, I could look at this and say, okay, well, the best months, the easiest ones where I have the least amount going on. So if I want to do a big launch, if I want to run a huge challenge, if I want to onboard a bunch of new clients, that's probably going to be January, February, April, or May, or maybe September, November, and December. The next thing you want to do, so step 2, is decide where to put your focus. It's so easy to look at our business, especially if you have more than one offer, and you think, well, my focus is I want to make sales, right? So like, I need to sell this workbook, I need to sell this one-on-one offer, I need to sell this group offer, you think about all those kinds of things. But the truth of the matter is that you need to decide what you want to focus on selling and promoting, because what you put your focus on will expand. So you really want to think about, what do I want to focus on? And this is modeled kind of after my own business, but I know a lot of you will also have similar things. So I try to build a business model that makes this process easy. But for you, you may have one signature offer. Awesome. So your 2 focus things may be getting people into maybe your email list or your freebie or something like that. Like whatever works for you to really convert that offer, your focus would be the thing that's converting your clients in that actual offer. If you have more than one offer, I know you feel like, well, I obviously want to sell all of those things. But what you really want to do is focus on talking about the number one problem you solve, and then pick one of the ways that you solve that problem and focus on trying to fill that. So the third thing I'll say about this and why this kind of works is, if you look at my calendar, you'll see that I have 3 group program launches. So that is my biggest focus, is really, this is a new program for me this year, and I want to really make sure that I perfect it, that I get lots of good feedback, good testimonials, and things like that. This is also a big focus for me because, like many of you, I am reaching time capacity, and so this is a really great way for me to keep doing work that I love, because I just love working with clients, but also stay within my capacity. The second thing is my intensives. So my intensive is a 6-week marketing service, and we really just focus on marketing in your business and ironing that out so that you can get clients. But people that work with me in an intensive, they are perfect for continuing our work together in coaching. Also, people that work in a group program, they're just getting to a certain level. So then they're going to want to take it to the next level. They're also perfectly primed and ready to continue working together inside one-on-one coaching. So by me focusing on the group program and then focusing on the intensive, I'm actually still filling all of those one-on-one coaching spaces and doing it in a really focused and productive way, because again, what you focus on expands, and so the more focused you are, the more results you're going to get. If every month I was talking about my group program and my workbook and my course and my intensive and my one-on-one, it was like, it's confusing. It's like, what exactly should I do? And you don't want to overwhelm people. You always want to make it simple. So always focus on the problem you solve and try to pick one way that you solve that problem, and do that. So you could change this, and yours may be one quarter you focus on this and one quarter you focus on that. Try it out, experiment, see what works best for you, what makes sense for you. And again, remembering the first step where we blocked things out. So if my kids are home during the summer and it's busy and I have even less time, that is not the time that I'm going to want to launch something. But it would be really easy for me to understand, okay, well, I have room for 2 intensives this month, or I don't have any intensive space open and I have to put you on a wait list until August. It just makes it really easy to figure out what you're doing in your business and make sure that you are working towards the right things. So the question is, what do you want to focus on? And here you'll see that they're all laid in. So this gives you some idea of where to put your focus and how to put it in the right months, right, the right timeline, so that it's not interfering or making you work against yourself. Step 3 is you need to create a strategy that's going to get you there. So this is where we start to get more specific and think about what action steps can I take. So the first part was we need to think about what's our capacity? What is our timeline? When is it best for me to work and when is it not great for me to take on extra hours? Step 2 was decide what you're going to focus on. What services are you going to focus on selling? And then you're going to pencil those in your calendar. So when you get to step 3, create the strategy that is going to get you there. You're ready to start putting in some action steps and some accountability for yourself. So with this, knowing that I want to do launches for the group program, I also can see what month I need to start doing promotions. So I'm not going to wait until a week before, 2 weeks before. I'm going to work at least 30 days out, knowing that I've got to get all this promotional material ready where I want to really talk about it. I want to make sure that I have availability to do calls so people can see if it's the right fit for them, all of those kind of things. So you'll see that I actually have this laid out here where it says group program promo, so that it's all kind of sketched in, right? So we're still working on getting those sort of wider, big angle view things so that we can break those down into real steps. So I ask myself, like, what actions am I going to take? If I want to fill up my intensives and I want to fill up my group coaching program, I'm going to use my podcast. I'm going to use email marketing. I'm going to send out emails about this. And I'm going to create social media content to talk about what I do, to tell people about the problem that I solve, and then to invite them into either one of the things that I'm focusing on. So the next thing we're going to do is start adding in some accountability. So we've decided what our timeline is, when we can work, when we can't work. We've penciled in when we're going to focus on which service that we're selling, and we've decided how we're going to promote those services. So now we need to put that into action steps, and that's why I love to switch over from my notebook into my Google Calendar. So this is a screenshot of my real Google Calendar, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit about how I set it up, why I did it that way, so that you can get some ideas and inspiration on how you can use this too. So when I made my list of how am I going to promote my offers, I knew that I would use my podcast, and I'm going to use email, and I'm going to use social media content. So this one shows you what I actually sketch out to put inside of this Facebook group, and you'll see that I have a color system. So, excuse me, I'm really tired today. The yellow is my podcast episodes. So if I'm looking at my calendar and I'm thinking about the things I want to fill, then I can say, okay, what content would be a really great lead in and a way to talk about this thing that I want to sell. So let's just say it's the coaching program. So I may create a podcast that talks specifically about the coaching program and how to sign up. I'll create some emails that tell people about the coaching program and how they can sign up. I will create a live or multiple Facebook Lives, so that's the social media portion, where I'm talking about the problem that I solve and how I solve it and how I can solve that for you. So that's really it. And so this was for February, and you'll see there's a little bit of run over where I was finishing up people who was like a last chance call to join the group program. Everything that's in that periwinkle color, those are emails. And then I also have all of my lives and some action steps. So you'll see that today is the 11th, and I have my mini masterclass. Everything is blocked in here, and I really am very type A, and I love using color systems because it makes it easy for me to look and see where things are. And I love adding in the emojis so that I have these little icons that it's just about easy recognition, and I love it. It makes my brain really happy. So I just like it that way. But you'll see I have kind of everything laid out. So the first thing you'll need to do is create a new calendar. And you can see in a screenshot of my actual calendar that I have multiple calendars in here. And the reason why I set it up this way is because I like being able to turn them on and off. So I can turn all the birthdays on. I also write content for my blog on my website and repurpose the videos from this Facebook group and put them on YouTube because it really helps with SEO. So you'll see that I actually have one that says YouTube. So I'll just kind of go down the list and tell you why I have all these different calendars. But the main one that you're looking at is marketing and the magnetic entrepreneur. So I can turn off magnetic entrepreneur and I'm only going to see the task that I have to do. So these are the things that I actually have to write because the ones that are in pink, those are reoccurring. So that means that those are the same kind of posts. And then I have like additional ones, of course. But my family calendar has all of my family things I have to do, personal appointments, and all of my client appointments. And I like it that way because when I turn them off, I'm only seeing my task. So it just puts some clarity on it. So when I get ready to sit down and write out my emails for the month, I turn on my marketing calendar and I see exactly what I need to do. And then I put the titles in, and that way I know that they're done. You guys know I love moon phases, so I actually put that in a separate calendar so I can turn them on and off because I love that. I have an RV life because when we were camping all the time, and even now when we schedule out camping trips, I like to have those in a separate calendar so I have all the information inside that I'm going to need so I don't have to look for anything. The magnetic entrepreneur course you see, I can see the lives that I have scheduled and then also the reoccurring posts. So these are the ones that are like share your business, share your Facebook. Like those are ones that I do every month. And so all the other ones are somewhere else. But this just gives me an outline that I really like to use. So to create a new calendar, you'll go over to my calendar where it has the little up sign. When you click that, you can create a completely new calendar and set yours up any way you want to. So this is how I set mine up because I like turning them off and on. But you can do it any way you want to. And the reason why blogs and YouTube are not inside of marketing is because that is really just repurposed content. And I sit down and I'll do like 3 to 6 months at a time just while I'm watching TV or something on my laptop. And so the reason why they're in a calendar is just so I'll know where I am so that when I run out of posts, I can come back and start doing some more. So it's really just to keep me so that I can see where they are. And you'll see my color system. So each one of these calendars has a different color. And then, of course, you can add another color. So the podcast, for example, is under marketing. So that's the reason why it's periwinkle, but I want it to be yellow like my podcast brand color so that it sticks out. And so whenever you create an event, you can always make it whatever kind of color you want to. And the default will be whatever color you've chosen for your actual calendar. So create a calendar, create a color system that works for you. And then the next thing you want to do is make sure that you're scheduling your tests to repeat. So these are a few ways that you can really maximize your Google Calendar and do so many more things with it that maybe you couldn't do before. So obviously creating a Zoom link is really awesome and helpful for things where you need that. So if I were going to do, Facebook Lives with somebody, maybe I would need a Zoom link for that, maybe not. It kind of depend what kind of process I was doing. But what I love about this is that you can actually share your calendar with people. So let's say that you have a Facebook group like me, you've got your recurring posts set up, you have all your events set up. You can share your calendar with your VA. That way, all she has to do is open up the calendar and create the post inside of Facebook. She can create your events, any of those kinds of things. So under details, you can put the content that you need. And I like this because what I was doing is having an outline for the Facebook Live, and that way I could just copy and paste the outline or the description inside of the post after the live was live. And that made that really easy. But you can use it in multiple ways. Like I said, you might want to get more detailed here. If you're going to maybe have a VA do this for you, you may not have a different system for keeping up with content, so you could put this in here. So let's say that you have some reoccurring posts that you like to use. Not only can you set them up so that they will publish, or it's going to tell you to publish the content whenever day you choose, but You can also just copy and paste what you need to put inside of that post. So you can actually use it like that too, which is really nice because, again, if we're thinking about how can we do this in the most simple, basic way, like these tools are a really great way to do that. And they're a great way to kind of get organized before you maybe invest in hiring a VA, before you decide that you want to pay for something like ClickUp. This is a great way to kind of get organized and give yourself some accountability and some consistency without having to make a huge investment. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what my actual calendar looks like. Let me escape out of here. That way I can kind of flip through a few things for you. All right. I hope you guys can see this. Ecamm doesn't work exactly like Loom where you can just click on the one thing you want to see. But I'll just show you really quickly how I click things on and off. So this is January and I need to make some YouTube videos. And the reason why I know is because I have the YouTube calendar on its screen here, but it's not anywhere else. So that is something that I'll have to work on, but also not a huge priority right now. That's the moon calendar, so that's one that I use a lot. And here are the blogs, so you can see that I actually have all the blogs scheduled out, and I won't do something double or get misplaced because I have the title here, so that makes that really easy. And again, just some of the features that I really love. Let's see if I click this one and edit. This was a video that I did last month. This is how I choose which calendar it's on. This is where I choose the color that I want it to be. And I don't have the details in this one, but that is definitely something that I can do. So I've been moving everything over into a different system, but this is what I've been using for the past really long time. I've been using this for a really long time and it works really well. So I hope that that helps you figure out some things that would work. You can see here if you just want to add something in, you could just change this to whichever thing. So if it was a podcast, I would go ahead and make that yellow and fill that in. And you have, it's a simple system, but it really works very well for me so that I can see all the things that I have to do and what's happening. Maybe it's because I'm a visual person, but I like seeing the overall layout of everything. And it helps a lot when you are planning a launch because I need to see the dates. I need to see it all laid out. So this is a great way to do that. And also know that because you can do reoccurring, I can flip through months ahead of time and the bulk of it is already done. So all I have to do is open these up, change the titles, and add in the podcast episodes. So it really saves you a lot of time and it just feels good to be that organized. So I really love that and I hope that it is helpful for you. And if you have any questions at all, let me know. If you have other cool things that you know how to do inside of Google or your Google calendar, I'd love to hear about it. And if you're interested in working more on your marketing strategy, I'd love to help you out. So there are 3 ways that you can work with me. You can get a free simple strategy call, and I'll put the link inside of this video where we dive into your business and work on ways that you can tweak your strategy in a free 30-minute call. Another way that we can work together is in my 6-week marketing intensive. This is where we get really specific about your sales funnel and how you can promote. So working on your copy, working on your strategy, and working on whatever mindset block could be popping up and keeping you from actually taking action. And then the last way to work with me is in one-on-one coaching support. We meet 3 times a month. You have anytime access, and we get deep into your business from the inside and out. So if you have any questions at all, if you love this calendar idea, let me know, and I will answer all of those for you.